He froze. Look at Al froze.
No, I was talking to my daughter. Sorry. She wants to be in on the show.
Okay. Mm.
And I'm watching the
Oh, come on.
crypto showdown.
Why is it?
It's
Why
live.
is it?
We
Okay.
good. Hello.
What's good? Welcome to First Stream Podcast. Listen, we're running a little bit late, but it's okay. We got our guy Lake Lewis down here right now. Also, we have Bill Harper who will be joining us. Said's going to slide in. Lake. Speaking of Said sliding in, look who just checked in. We got Said here. Lady A's over there. Alvin is trying to figure out which. Alvin's trying to figure out which playoff team roster he's going to be on. So once we get that all figured out,
Buffalo or the Steelers.
we'll let y'all know as soon as we know. But we got a fire show for y'all. No intro. We're going straight to this right now. Lake, the Washington Commanders had they got a win in New Orleans. It was closer than it should have been.
Barely.
Can you go ahead and update us on what you saw and everything like that?
Yeah, it was definitely too close for comfort. I mean, they got the dub. I mean, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. I mean, you can live to fight another day, especially when you do get a road win in the NFL. But let's face it. I mean, they left some meat on the bone, and it should have been an easier victory than what it was. I think they kind of got complacent. And I also think that when New Orleans decided to replace Hainer with Spencer Rattler, I think it kind of threw off a little bit of chemistry that the defense had. The defense was doing really well against Hainer, and he was throwing some balls up to be had. They were getting pressure on him. But when they put Rattler in there, he just was clearly a better quarterback, better decision maker, was more precise as far as where he wanted to go. And it gave Washington fits. It was almost as if they didn't game plan for him at all. And I was surprised by that because New Orleans didn't name Hainer the starter until later in the week. So I thought maybe that both those guys were getting looks. But yeah, I mean, this was a football game that they should have clearly won. They should have covered the spread. I think the spread was 7.5. They should have covered that, and they didn't.
Once again, we are live on First String Podcast with Lake Lewis Jr., NFL Insider, Lady A, Al, and Says down the bottom right now. So this game wouldn't have been close for a couple of different reasons. One, I'm just going to get to this one right away. If Jahan and Terry catch it, connect on that 36-yard bomb where Terry looks like he slowed down and then he had to speed up again. And then there was another pass, which could have been pass interference. Those two things alone make them cover this 7-point spread, 7.5-point spread. We'll talk about the refs later. I'll leave that for someone else. If that happens, do you think that they would be as focused going into this week? Because this is their first win coming off of a bye in a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the key words that you said there a couple of times was if, and ifs don't work. I mean, it just doesn't go down like that. Those are still plays that they need to execute that they didn't. Whether Terry was wide open or not, whether Jaden overthrew him, whether he underthrew him on one, there's still plays that you can't leave things out there, for chance. Yeah, they catch those passes, it's a much bigger win for them. But I think that this is something that we've seen throughout the year with this team. Everyone's happy and elated that they're playing for a playoff spot, a year, maybe 2 years earlier than anyone expected. So that's all good. But now they're realistic expectations. And the expectations are you beat bad football teams if you're going to be a playoff team. And they did beat a pretty downtrodden New Orleans team that's kind of beat up and battered as well. But for the life of me, when you're playing for a playoff spot and you're playing against a team that's playing with their backup quarterback and their third string quarterback, and you let them hang around, whether the game's at home or not for New Orleans, that shouldn't have happened. And I don't think it was a case of looking ahead to Philadelphia this week. I really don't. I think it's just a football team that doesn't know how to close people out properly. And they've had some games where they've done it. They did it against Tennessee, but then there was a spurt in the Tennessee game where they kind of took their foot off the gas, and Tennessee scored like 10 consecutive points. They have to get to a point where they're putting people to bed, and I mean literally where they're turning the machine off on them, so to speak. They have to get to that point where they have a killer instinct. And that's something that comes over time, where you have to win games first in order to know how to win. And I think that they're learning that. So you kind of have to give them a break. We'll find out more about them this week than we did last week. And that's what I'm looking forward to.
I won't give them a break. Like, I don't want to give them a break because they actually showed that against the Cardinals and Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
So you saying it's a learn. I thought they had learned that. So shouldn't did that speak more to lack of focus possibly for the team in regards to looking forward to next week with the big game against Philly and kind of thinking that this is going to be a rollover game because they were paying potentially a second or third string quarterback against a team that's barely holding on at best.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I really don't think they were looking ahead. I mean, I don't think you can say that from the standpoint that I know Marshawn Lattimore wasn't looking ahead because he was going back to New Orleans to play a team that traded him. So he was looking forward to that. And it was his first game playing for the Commanders. Jaden Daniels was going back to Louisiana where he had some success. So I don't think they were looking ahead. I mean, New Orleans has a decent defense. Again, a couple of weeks ago, Tennessee had a decent defense. It's just their offenses are bad. So I think for Washington, there were some challenges that were already in front of them. New Orleans front four is legit. With Ridgeway, Chase Young, Cam Jordan. I mean, they're legit up front, and they gave them fits in that department. And the other thing is Washington was playing with a pretty battered offensive line that was kind of makeshift. Tyler Biadasz, didn't suit up. And so you had to, at the last second, put Dieter in there. And he had a rough game. He really did. But in spite of all that, there were a lot of positives that you could take away from the game. And you're right, Tupic. If they make those throws, Jaden connects with Terry on just one of the throws, the game's over. If you connect on both those throws, then it's the blowout that I think some people were expecting. I really didn't think that they were going to go into New Orleans and blow them out. I didn't even think they were going to cover the spread. I actually predicted that the final score would be like 20-13, something like that. And it was close.
Right.
But I just never felt like they would lose the game or the game would ever be in doubt. I thought it would be similar to that Giants game in the Meadowlands where the score may have looked close, but you saw Washington pretty much do whatever they wanted to against the Giants. That's exactly what I was expecting yesterday. And for the most part, it looked like that until the fourth quarter where it almost got away from them.
Right.
Lady A.
So, number one, to what Al was stating, they're a new team. Their ups and they have their downs. You have good days and you have bad days.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it looked like they have it together. It could be just like, beginner's luck. It could be. Not saying that that's what it is. But over to what we're talking about in reference to this particular game, you're supposed to beat, and we say this all the time, you're supposed to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat the way that you're supposed to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the spread was a reflection of that everyone thought that it would at least be a little further apart. So I'm with you, Lake. I didn't feel like Washington would cover, but I did feel like they would win the game.
Yeah.
With that said, it's no secret that Commanders fans went to New Orleans and took over. Do you think that in any way, shape, or form resonated with the players? Because they're always talking about fan participation, get some hype and things like that, because winning by 1 point for a team that you're expected to win by 7 doesn't really quite reflect that. But the fans showed up. How do you think that came into play in reference to the players and their performance on field?
I mean, I don't think it really played that big a deal. Just because if it did, I mean, if they were to have looked out in the crowd, which I'm sure we all did, it was almost a home game for Washington. There was that many Commanders fans, a lot of burgundy and gold. It was everywhere, especially in the lower tier of the stadium. So if they did see that to get hyped, they didn't show it. So I don't think that had anything to do with it. I think it's a nice story to see that their fans are coming back in droves no matter where they play. But I just think this is, again, it's the case of a young football team that has expectations that they can win games, but they're not sure how they're going to win the game. And it plays out right in front of you. It's almost like, a live soap opera is playing out right in front of you, where you see the ebbs and flows. And, they start the game off and they're up 14-0 at halftime. And you're just thinking they're really going to kick it into another gear and maybe, double the lead or quadruple the lead. And it just doesn't happen. And you saw New Orleans just chipping away and chipping away and chipping away. And I think all of us knew this game's probably going to be made a game in the fourth quarter. And sure enough, it was. Unfortunately, they held on. So you have to give them credit, too, for, I know it's not the way you want to win a game, but they did hold on to the game in a way where the game was almost snatched from them. We know one play doesn't make a game, but in this situation, when you give a team more time than they deserve, you're putting the team out there. So you got to give them credit for holding on, and not allowing New Orleans to get the 2-point conversion. Because listen, guys, you guys know this. It's hard to win in the NFL. On any given weekend, you see downtrodden teams beating teams that have Super Bowl expectations. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, the Panthers took the Chiefs to the wire. We saw Denver, going for a game-winning field goal against Kansas City that was blocked. So, did anyone see Tampa, go into LA and destroy the Chargers? I don't think anyone saw that coming. So, any given weekend, man, anything can happen. So, for Washington to pick up that 9th win, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. They did it.
That's all.
But hopefully they can wake themselves up, because the mistakes that they made Sunday, they will not be able to make this weekend against the Eagles if they expect to win.
Yeah. Al, come on.
Oh, you muted, Al.
So I have kids around me, so I didn't want them to be in the conversation. But no, like I said, I think it's part of the growing pains of becoming what you all were to what you are trying to become with a lot of those things. How much do you think, I guess it's another what if situation, had that 2-point conversion been successful, how much do you think that host home cooking with the clock would have reared its ugly head in the talks and the news, and just overwhelmed the bottom line that you all didn't play well in the second half?
Oh, it would have been the talk of on every publication, on every outlet. The NFL, they had a collective sigh of relief when they didn't get that 2-point conversion, because, you're talking about now, it could have done major damage to Washington's playoff hopes. It just wasn't a good look. It's still something they have to look into, because it's too often this year referees are making blatant mistakes that, whether we're sitting in the stadium or if you're watching it on television, everyone sees that something is wrong. And I think, not to stray here, but I think the problem is the NFL tries to come out with 10, 15 different rules every year, and the referees don't even know the first 10 or 15. So I like that. They have to scale some of these rules down so that the refs know the rules and they understand what's going on, because for that sideline ref to run in there to stop the clock was inexcusable. There was nothing that happened that makes anyone think, short of a team calling timeout, that's the only way that clock should have stopped under those circumstances.
Absolutely.
And he was adamant. He almost got waved off, basically, because that's what happened. The other crew, no, we got to put this ball in. The other ref took it and ran to put it in. But if you go back and watch it, that was 3.5, maybe 4 seconds where that clock sat there. And the irony is that snapped the ball and throw it in the ground, whatever, how much time was left for them to run the last play? 3 seconds. That's the 3 seconds that they gave them. So not a good look by the NFL by any means.
No.
Right. We are live with Lake Lewis Jr., NFL insider here. Say it. Get at it.
Hey, quick question. Do you think with what Chase Young did to the offensive line and those sacks that he picked up,
Mm-hmm.
do you think that gives other teams an idea of what they can do against your offensive line?
Well, I think that came back. That goes all the way back to the Ravens game. I truly believe what the Ravens did was they put Roquan Smith in the middle of the field and had him shadow Jaden Daniels so that Jaden couldn't run. He made him stay in the pocket, and that's where you can see some of the deficiencies in the offensive line when you make them pass block for 3-4 seconds. That's not their strength. But in fairness to the offensive line, because they played well most of the year, it just seems like the last month they've had injuries happen and they've had mixed match lines all throughout over the past month. And Sunday was another example of that, with Tyler Biadasz being out at the last second, because of an illness. So I don't think it was anything Chase did in particular that other teams are going to do. I just think they're going to be playing another dangerous front four Sunday that gets after. And it's just a matter of your scheme. But I think for the most part, although there were 8 sacks yesterday, I think maybe half of them were Jaden's fault because he was trying to extend plays, make things happen. 4 were just natural sacks by really good players. But I think by and large, I thought the game plan, I thought Cliff Kingsbury called a B+ game yesterday. I mean, or Sunday, just some things didn't happen. The Terry passes, a couple things here or there that they didn't do to extend drives. And for my money, I don't think they ran the football enough. I know it wasn't working for a while, but they should have stayed with it. But yeah, to answer your question, Cedric, I don't think Chase did anything in particular that other teams are going to use a blueprint for.
Got you. We got a question from the chat here. I'm gonna put this one up. I like this question here. This is do you think that, or do you feel that Dan Quinn might not have that killer instinct in coaching, whereas if he has a big lead, we may play more comfortable and less aggressive?
I wouldn't say that, because I know his style he's an aggressive coach by nature. He wants a hard-hitting physical defense. He wants an offensive identity. I think the problem, guys, honestly, and some people don't like hearing this, but this was a 4-win team last year. They just got to 9 this year. That's a remarkable turnaround.
Right.
It's not even a turnaround. It's a remarkable unveiling, because this is a whole new setup here. And again, you have to learn how to do this consistently in order to even be able to put your foot on someone's neck. I mean, and yeah, we've seen games this year where they did that. They did it to the Cardinals. They did it to Tennessee. I mean, they did it to the Panthers, so those things happen. But we've also seen them, not finish a Pittsburgh team where they were up 10 in the fourth quarter. Not finish off the Eagles, another Super Bowl aspiring team. Not finish them off in the fourth quarter where they had a 10-6 lead late in that game in Philadelphia. So these are just all growing pains, but these are good growing pains. These aren't gloom and doom. The season's over. I mean, they're 1 win away pretty much from clinching a playoff spot. And if you told anyone that before the season started, they're going to tell you were crazy. Although I told you guys the same thing. They were no worse than a 9-win football team. I said that back in training camp. We're sitting at 9 wins. I'm just letting you know.
You right?
So I don't think they're. Yeah, and for the record, I did say that I thought this team was going to win 11 games this year. People thought I was crazy.
I was with you. Yeah,
you were with me. They're right there. So
I wasn't.
Okay. And again, let's not. That goes back to the question of Dan Quinn from the fan who just asked that question. You have to have a pretty aggressive coach to get to 11 wins, and especially in his inaugural campaign with a rookie quarterback. So I don't think that's the case. Again, I just think it's a team that knows that they can win football games, but the formula of how they're going to win the games, that part hasn't come into play yet.
Last two questions for you here, Lake. First question is pretty outstanding. A pretty quick question. Where will you be Saturday at 12 o'clock noon?
I'm going to be in front of a television because my Penn State Nittany Lions are playing SMU, but I can't get to the game because I have to be at Northwest on Sunday pretty early. But yeah, right. I will be there. Is that where someone was going with that?
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going with that. That's exactly where I was going with it. And the last question is, speaking of Sunday, which you actually went into, what type of game do you think will be had this Sunday at Northwest Stadium versus the Philadelphia Eagles?
It's going to be a good football game. I think, again, this is a football team that believes they can win games. And if you really look at all year long, they haven't been blown out. They have not been destroyed in any game. There's spurts where they don't play well. There's spurts where they play great. And they're still looking for that signature win. They've had some, 9 wins. That's a lot of wins. But right now, the signature win for them is on a Hail Mary. I think, if they can have a signature win against an Eagles team that right now, you can make an argument for Minnesota, but the Eagles right now look like they might be the best team in the NFC. And Detroit's kind of, all the injuries, they're falling apart.
That's right, a mash unit.
Yeah, Detroit might end up being the 5th seed when the playoffs start because of these injuries. So Philly and Minnesota are battling for it. But if you're Washington, you played the Eagles, tough in Philadelphia, and you didn't play your best game, but yet you were leading in the 4th quarter. And I still, for my money, wish Dan Quinn would have let Gonzalez try that field goal to extend the lead. But they didn't. They went for it on 4th and 1, and they didn't get it. So I think if you're Washington, there's a little bit of payback in this one. And I think they feel like they can play with the Eagles. But if they can shut down Saquon, they have a legitimate chance. And this is why you went out and got Marshawn
Lynch. Yeah, Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah. So if you can put Lattimore, you get Lattimore on AJ Brown. That's must-see TV coming up, and I think it gives Washington a legitimate shot to be able to hang with the Eagles and possibly beat them. But if they were to win this game, I'm going to go ahead and push the narrative. If they beat Philadelphia Sunday, now you're talking about a football team that believes that they can do something if they get into the playoffs. If you lose to Philadelphia, the storyline's going to be where Philly's the better team, and now all you got to do is beat Atlanta, you'll be in, or beat Dallas, and you'll be in. But that's a lot of pressure that's going to come with that. So it would be great to get your signature win and clinch your playoff spot this Sunday.
All right.
That was my question too. For you go. Is there any scenario that you can see that last game against those Dallas Cowboys being the must-win game to get you in?
Absolutely not.
Well, actually, it wouldn't be, because what happens is that it's Atlanta is the issue. So even if they were to lose, I think this game Sunday is house money. It's like, you have nothing to lose. The Eagles are a better team. I think most people would agree with that.
Yes.
You lose, it just sets up these final 2 games. You just got to get one. And I think it would be the game against the Falcons, because now you're eliminating another team that could be a problem for you. So I think if they were to beat the Falcons, I think that's the formula for them to get in. Because right now, I'm pretty sure if Atlanta were to lose one and Washington wins one, they're in. So why not just take care of that team when you play them head up?
Yeah. Okay. First off, Lady A broke that story about a couple of minutes ago. We didn't want to interrupt you, but this Lady A, she does it. She broke this news. The Falcons named Michael Penix starting QB going forward.
You knew it was coming.
So Kirk Cousins must be hurt or something like that.
No, he's not hurt. He's just struggling.
9 interceptions.
You really tried it.
I tried to give him an easy way out. Yeah, he's really struggling. But
in 5 games, get you replaced.
Yes, it does.
And this is a whole nother story, because Kirk Cousins probably played his final game in Atlanta, and you gave up a lot and you paid a lot to get him.
Yeah,
but now their GM and their coach don't look so bad for taking Penix because they gave themselves a nice insurance policy just in case.
Yes.
Look at Sid is upset.
Hold on, he ain't played yet. Hold on, he ain't played yet.
And he got a prime time. And he got a prime time game coming up.
Too high yet. He ain't played yet.
But he got a prime time game coming up in 2 weeks.
The thing is this: if they had an inkling they were going to play Penix, they should have brought him in the second half of the last game. Give him some reps. Because it's different from the sideline when you're watching.
But y'all had to win that game.
Then they're bringing these exotic blitzes from every direction that you have not seen.
Yeah,
but the Raiders are one of those teams that do that.
Yeah, but I think, Cedric, I've always been opposed to putting a rookie quarterback in mop up time or in the second half of any game because Kirk Cousins got all the reps this week, for the Raiders. He got all the reps, everything that they prepared, he got that. So now if you're Michael Penix, whoever they play this week, he's going to get all the reps. He's going to be able to watch all the film on that team to give him a better opportunity to succeed. And I just think that it can't get any worse the way Kirk's been playing. So I like Raheem Morris making this move for this week and not having played him on Sunday. I wouldn't have liked that if they put him in against the Raiders.
There we go.
My whole week. Yeah, I can go.
Lake, we thank you for your time. We appreciate you being available to us. We got to hit back up before the end of the season, so we'll have you
anytime. Anytime.
Thank
always look forward to coming on with you guys. So happy holidays and don't spend too much money out there.
And your Nittany Lions have the easiest road to the championship game.
And we have our
don't
Christmas.
Say that, man. I don't want to hear that because I've been hearing it all week that, oh, man, they set you guys up. You win. You got to play Boise and Arizona. You're going to beat them. Listen, man. That team has broken my heart many a year. So, but I agree with you though. We got a nice little setup. So
we have our Christmas party, our First String Podcast Ugly Sweater Christmas party on Saturday, Lake. So if you want to put on the ugly Christmas sweater and jump in to say hello and celebrate a little bit of a Penn State win, just let me know. I'll send the link.
Or anything maroon and yellow.
I don't have any ugly sweaters though, so yeah, I still could find something. But
you got something maroon and yellow, I'm sure.
Let me put this out there for you, Lake. Check this out, Lake. If your boys make it to the quarterfinal, I'll at me. I might have something for you.
Okay, I will do that. I promise.
So we play the quarterfinals right here in Texas.
And I think we will be talking because they are going to make it to the quarterfinals. It's supposed to be 28 degrees.
I'm for real now. Holler at me. For real.
It's supposed to be 28 degrees Saturday up there. SMU not ready for that.
They're not ready for it. No. For real. Quarterfinals, Lake, just get at me. I'll get you in touch with Sid and we'll set it all up. So,
right.
For real.
We'll do.
Thank you for your time. That's Lake Lewis Jr., NFL Insider. Thank you. Dropping by with us. Now, listen, it's time for me to get silly. So we got another guest coming. Y'all have seen Bill before. He's come on. He's given us some college football, some college basketball information. Bill's coming in because there was a game that happened on Saturday. Saturday, yeah. I'm gonna bring Bill in now. I'm gonna step out, but I'll be back.
Why is he stepping out? Hey, Bill.
Hello, how are y'all?
What is he coming off for? Where he go?
Still repping. It's okay.
You still repping?
You scared our host away, man.
No, I know why he's stepping away.
Yeah,
Say's not gonna like
Army Navy.
Oh, what's going on, Bill? Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah. He got to get his 5 minutes in.
Look at this.
What did I tell y'all? What did I tell y'all?
Let it go and get his 5 minutes in.
1, 2, and 3 over there going, no, the Army got this. No, Navy's got this game.
Wait, I never made a comment.
No, I'm talking about me. Let me switch you to the villain over here. That way I got them all around me. All of you haters. Army hater, I'm a Navy hater, and of course that Navy hater over there. Listen, let me tell y'all, Navy's coach was telling people before the game, I'm gonna beat Army by 2 tutties. And did he do it?
Teddy.
Did my man do it? This game never goes the way you think it's going to go. When Navy's having a great year, Army comes in and upsets. When Army's having a great year and we haven't beat Army in how long, Bill? Y'all been whooping our butt and telling us don't even tell me your name. We just gonna kick your butt. We don't even want to know y'all's name.
The smallest violin.
Not no more. Not no more.
Say it.
Not no more. That's right. I'm gonna take this victory lap. Say it. Say it. Say it. I'm gonna need you to sing Anchors Away.
You got the aviator glasses on too, man.
I'm gonna need you to sing. I'm gonna need you to sing Anchors Away.
All I got is artillery.
I'm gonna need you to sing Anchors Away.
Say he don't know the words.
Let's go. I can put the words up.
No. He said he can't read today.
I'm gonna need a little Anchors Away.
You know what? I ain't got my contacts in.
Okay, Bill. Bill, I'm gonna give you the floor, man. Talk about this Army Navy game.
There's not much to say. It was rough.
Oh no,
it was rough.
We can't get no details.
No, it was one of those things where you look at.
You said a lot right there.
Yeah, when you look at it, you got a guy in Daly as the quarterback, right? And he's been absolutely, in my mind, I think he should have been invited to New York before this past weekend. I mean, what he has been able to do on the ground, what he had been even able to do for a service academy through the air, I think he had less than 50 yards rushing, no touchdown. I mean, it was rough. So literally, Army got out-armied by Navy, who we used to call little brother all the time, and yeah, it was rough. And here I was hoping to come on and talk about how the playoff committee did the service academy wrong, and talk about how they had the chance to do the best thing ever and throw a service academy into the first 12-team playoff, and yeah, all that went out the window.
Went right out the
5
window.
PM. Yep.
Right out the window. Hey, Al, at what moment did you know that you was taking the L in that Army Navy game? Oh no. You don't get the flex said.
That's what he did.
Is this gonna be a prop?
It is. They're gonna show down.
Okay.
So you had to select that game. You had to pick a winner.
You had to pick a winner. And the thing is, I'm usually a Navy guy, being at the hometown team in Annapolis, and I work right down the street from there. From the academy, play golf there all the time as well. I just thought I saw Army play, and I thought Army was playing like the better team. And Bill, kind of what Bill was saying, I was hoping Army made some noise and at least had some consideration for the 12-team playoff, just because I think that would have been, a real big thing for one of the service academies.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see that coming either. That's why I sent y'all a message.
I like going against pick. It's so easy to pick against toothpick.
So it was personal.
It's always personal with him,
Well, I didn't go to Bill. Did you happen to go to the game?
No, I did not. I watched it from the house.
Okay, I got stuck in the traffic afterwards, so I wasn't pleased with that. I was like, for all that, the home team, and like you said, Al, that was the home team. And truth, I've gone to an Army Navy game before years ago. I'm so done with you. I think that they're gonna get more ridiculous.
And would you stop?
Goes
you like you got a TV screen on your face.
Oh, but I do feel like traditionally this was, and they upped the venue. Like they weren't playing in Annapolis. They were playing at Northwest Stadium. I mean, it was a big to do in this area. So
every time I ride with them, Lady A, they let me down. I'm telling you, the Navy. Every time I ride with Navy, they
no. We were so glad that you was on the other side, Al.
I was gonna say maybe that's
put your Kanye West back on, man. Put your Kanye West back on.
No. We was glad you was on the other side because we needed that victory, because it had been a minute since we stepped on Army's neck, and we really needed to do that. We really needed to remind Army.
And I've known a lot of Navy players throughout the years, and I've had to be like, "Ooh, I'm sorry, y'all lost again." Ooh, and then look at what happened. Oh, look at say it. You are doing nothing.
What, Lady A? All I did was put a bulldog hat on. That's all.
Nothing but antagonizing this man. Like,
put a whole uniform on.
oh my gosh, no, please don't. He go.
It was one of those things. Watch it, right? Navy went right down, punched Army in the mouth, right? Mm-hmm. And Army got the ball back. I think it was a 3-and-out. Immediately went back, and that was like, uh-oh. When I saw it was 14-0, I mean, Army, just like the other service academies, are not built to play from behind.
Yeah.
3-7, okay, right? But when you get to 10 plus points, they're just not built to throw the ball down and come back from that. So it was one of those things. I saw 14-0. I was like, woof, unless something really changes, it was not looking good.
I thought I was being punked.
Hey, no, you weren't. It was absolutely happening in live time. All of us watched it.
I was at work. Day. I didn't watch it.
It was a good day. Don't worry. I'll send you the replay.
You know what said you right. That's probably what happened.
Probably lost because I was at work.
Mm-hmm. I'll send you the replay.
It's classic playing right now, Pig, but I'm not. I got a show going right now. That's good.
Okay, Bill, we do have the college football playoffs coming up.
Yeah.
Right. They kick off Friday night. Al, get ready because say it. Go on. Tell them what's about to happen to him.
Who are you talking about?
To Al.
Oh, the games, his games.
I get to make up my games to make up that small lead that Pick got.
Yeah.
Oh, this one this weekend. Oh, yeah. No, we'll get to do the picks. I got to bring it up when we do the picks.
Okay. But let's talk about these first couple of games for the college football playoffs. Like I said, they kick off on Friday night. Bill, you have Indiana and Notre Dame at Notre Dame. This is the battle for Indiana. What do you see in this game right here, Bill?
If I had to pick, I would go Notre Dame. They don't have – it's kind of hard to tell, right? Because they don't play the same kind of schedule that the Big Ten does and what Indiana plays. But I hate to say it, Indiana's played one good team, and they got the brakes blown off of them by Ohio State. I think that's about what's going to happen this weekend. I think they'll keep it close for a little bit, but I think Marcus Freeman's got something for him.
That game is Friday on ABC at 8 p.m. The next game is
wait. I'm gonna say this, Bill. This is my personal opinion, and they can say what they want. Indiana played one of the softest schedules ever. Let's be realistic about it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not pressing for Alabama to be in this playoff, but if we're not gonna utilize the portion of the strength of schedule, then I think that we're setting ourselves up for failure down the road.
Sure.
We've already seen some teams start to pull out of playing certain teams because of they don't feel like the playoff committee is valuing strength of schedule. Some of these kickoff games have just got real soft. Know that for a fact.
So are you talking specifically Alabama, or are you talking SEC?
Not just Alabama. I'm just talking about some of the games in general. They're pulling out. They feel like after watching Indiana and what was the other team? SMU. And don't get me wrong, now they probably could legitimately beat some other teams in the top 25. But that's not what they had. I'm
sorry. I'm opposed to it.
Struggling.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm opposed to it. If you beat the teams on your schedule, you don't give any other reason to look for a way in. If you beat the teams on your schedule, you cannot be denied a spot. But when you start losing 2 and 3 games, you giving the committee a reason not to put you in.
So looking at Alabama, Ole Miss, right? I mean, don't lose at home to Kentucky, who won one game, which was Ole Miss. Don't lose to Vanderbilt for the first time in Bear Bryant's age. I don't know how long it's been, but Saban never lost to them. So don't lose those games you're in. I mean, that's it. 10-2 Alabama or 10-2 Ole Miss would have been it, and probably would have kicked SMU out with that loss to Clemson.
Yep,
it's that simple. And I hate to say that because strength of schedule, Alabama didn't play anyone out of conference. Their best win was a 4-5 win Wisconsin team that was not good. Yeah. So it's hard to say that strength of schedule has anything to do with it when you're not and threatening to not schedule anyone in the out of conference, doesn't make any sense when you don't play anyone out of conference. You play Mercer in November, December. I mean, that's ridiculous.
But in
no. Don't. I mean, I'm not just saying don't use Alabama. I mean, you could use other teams who had similar losses, had similar records. You know, maybe had 2 losses instead of 1. Some of those strength of schedules still, you know, are still stronger than some of those guys who made it in. But I mean, it's true. I mean, SMU played in the conference championship game, so I understand not dropping them out of there. You know. But is the way they moved with strength of schedule this year, they didn't do it appropriately per team that lost. You know, like perfect example, I can use Georgia as an example. We lost to a ranked team and we dropped 9 spots.
Yeah.
You know, 9 spots. And we had the number 1 strength of schedule. We dropped 9 spots. Whereas another team who did not have the strength of schedule we did lost to an unranked team on a drop like 4 or 5 spots. That's what I'm saying.
But you can't brag about having the best conference in college football.
No,
and then wait.
But you can't. I'm talking about loss in general. I'm not saying
let
it's
let me finish.
Loss in general.
Let me finish. You can't say that you have the best conference in college football, top to bottom, and then because you lose in conference, say we got a tough strength of schedule. Well, you got the best conference because you get the best recruits. And now you're going to say because we got 5 stars and we play against a ton of 5 stars that shouldn't be held against us. Well, the best thing about competition is it's going to say who's the best person, the best team on that day. Don't lose.
I get you saying. I think what Said's saying is you're going to see some of these games that we look forward to having during the season, we're going to lose. Like even with Alabama. When they scheduled that game against Wisconsin was a power in the Big Ten. Usually that year, they just happen to be having a bad year. But if you lose by losing a conference game, it's going to cost you that much when you have the toughest strength of schedule. But they don't take strength of schedule into consideration. Then they'll put 2 more Mercers on there and don't have to worry about it.
What the only consistency that we know that these committees have is being inconsistent. So again, keep it out of the committee's hands and win your games. And
they are going to win their games. They're going to win their games now because it's going to be Cupcake City.
Yeah.
You still got to have. It's
going to be Cupcake City.
If you take that out, you're going to lose some things. You're going to lose some things when you take out strength of schedule. I understand all points, but you will at the end of the season, you will realize, okay, this particular game that would be a good matchup, we don't have, because based off of what Said was talking about, if you lose to a top ranked team and you drop really, really far back versus someone who was just lost to just some old little raggedy team somewhere and they drop back a couple, that's uneven. You know, that in itself isn't equal. With that said, at the end of the season, you're going to get the aftermath of that. And
let's reverse it. Let's reverse this. Say it. You're absolutely saying that Indiana doesn't have a tough strength. SMU, Indiana didn't have a tough strength of schedule, right?
Yep.
But the SEC, you guys' conference is the
I guess I deleted it.
I think I deleted it. I think I deleted it. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. No worries. But I understand what you're saying. But then you go back and you put more Mercers and more D3 schools on your schedule, right? And then you lose 2 games in conference. And the committee say no. Then you go say, well, Indiana had a soft schedule. Indiana won the games they were supposed to win and lost to one of the top 2 teams one of the top 3 teams in the Big Ten.
The only legitimate team they played. And
I get it. I understand it. But guess what?
And then Ohio State turned around and got housed by unranked Michigan.
But anyway,
guess what? Indiana's schedule is 106.
Guess what? When you take off the big dogs, when you take the big dogs off your schedule and you start playing Mercers and everybody else, you just made your schedule just like Indiana's. So when you take 2 losses in the SEC, you got nobody to look at but yourself, because one of those cupcakes could have been one of the big dogs from the other conference. And there's really only two conferences that we really even think. It's the Big Ten and the SEC.
But that's not what they did, though, Pick. I hear what you're saying, but that's not what they did. That's not
I don't
what
know.
they did.
Anyway,
I hear what you're saying, but that's not what they did.
They got it mostly right this year. No 3-loss team.
Let me.
I think this should have been in there because it wasn't about the 12 best teams. It was amongst the 12 most deserving teams, and that's what.
Right.
And it's going to get better next year anyway. All right. So we got Indiana. Notre Dame on Friday. On Saturday, we talked about this earlier with Lake Lewis. We have SMU and the Penn State Nittany Lions in Penn State. We already know that the weather is not going to be conducive to what SMU likes. But what we do know about SMU is, that SMU had a negative turnover margin and won their last couple of games, but that trend stopped when they played Clemson. Right now, what's his name? Coach Franklin at Penn State. This is his first time having his team in the college football playoffs. It's a 12-team format. Who has more pressure on them, Bill? SMU or Penn State?
Penn State does, but here's the one thing I'll say. As much as I dislike it, I'm biased against SMU as a TCU fan. I will say the closest team that they probably played with a defense anywhere close to Penn State was BYU, and they got completely shut down and lost at home. Now, that's a whole different argument because I think once SMU lost, I think that should have opened the conversation for BYU to potentially come in as a 10-2 win team who was third place in the Big 12, beat SMU at SMU. I think there was an argument there that BYU should have gotten discussed to get back in.
Right.
That was just completely ignored. But I understand because they didn't make the
You talking about SMU, right?
Yeah.
Because I told that guy over there when they were playing the game, they were going to lose. I told him, they're going to lose because they've only played one physical team.
But we bet it. We bet right. We bet right. We bet Clemson.
No, SMU lost. I didn't bet SMU.
I did. I bet Clemson. I talked to you, and I bet Clemson.
But yeah, because I had said they had not played a physical team like Clemson, which is what a lot of these teams are. So it changes the dynamic of what they're doing. Because a lot of the teams that are in right now in this college playoff, not all of them, a lot of them are physical teams. Yeah. And like you said, they're playing out in the cold. Yeah, whatever.
Man. Yeah,
good luck.
I think they're going to shut them down on defense. So SMU is very much a run first to establish everything else. That's why they made the move to put the quarterback in they got, is to help establish the run because he's a good runner. I definitely think Penn State's going to know that and shut it down. They got a very quick physical defense, and I don't think the Oregon game was as much of an indicator of what you're going to see this weekend as some people might say. I think Penn State's going to roll pretty. I think it'll be close, but I think it won't. It'll be comfortable.
All right. So our next game that Saturday at 3:00 is Clemson versus the Texas Longhorns. All right. Clemson, they won their way in. They're ACC champs. Texas, they did their thug nizzle. They lost in the SEC championship versus who said? I can't remember who they lost to.
Georgia Dogs.
Them dogs. Okay, them dogs. Right. Welcome to the SEC. Here's your loss in the conference championship. What do you see happening here, Bill?
I think Clemson's just going to be outmatched. I think Dabo has established a really good culture. I think they're going to fight. It's going to be close, but at the end of the day, I think Texas is way too explosive. All it takes is one play, and they can open the game up, and I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, listen, here comes this next game we're about to talk about.
I also think that Manning will play more in this game.
I've heard some rumors.
Red shirts don't count during the bowl season.
Yep.
He already used his red shirt last year.
This year.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Those kids who have not played those past 4 games, red shirts don't count during bowl season. So since it's the playoffs, they can play without a count toward the red shirt if they're already in red shirt and in the red shirt area.
So before bowl season, you get 4 games they can show up in, even whether it's one play or the whole game. the bowl game, I think it was 2 years ago, they changed the rules that it does not count. So that can be your 5th game or it can be your 1st game.
Yep.
And you don't burn the red shirt.
This next game is my upset special, but I want to see what you guys think. We got the Tennessee Vols traveling to Ohio State to take on the Buckeyes here.
Vols.
Right, Bill. Ryan Day has not seemed to win the big one. You know, he can't beat Michigan, and then you get to championship series or championship week and you fold. Tennessee seems to be a program that just is taking steps every year, getting constantly better. Again, here's the question: who's the pressure on?
So I think it's on Nico, to be honest with you.
Wow.
What's the biggest game he's played in? Alabama?
Yeah.
Wasn't that great? The running game is what showed up in that game to win that game.
Clemson.
So I really, as much as I dislike Ohio State, I think they're gonna get the game. I mean, really, Ryan Day only loses to either Georgia or Michigan. So,
you got to add Oregon to that list.
You can add Oregon this year. Yeah,
you add Oregon, right? So, the thing that Ohio State can't do is stop the run. And you said it earlier. You could take the pressure off the quarterback by handing the ball off. Michigan ran up and down the field on Ohio State and stayed close. Tennessee said, how's their running game?
Tennessee got a running game.
Samson's a hell of a running back.
They got a nice running game as well.
Yeah.
He's
So
one of the best running backs, easily.
Al, are you ready?
Oh, it's up to me, man. It's up to me. I'm
Say
always
it. Say what games does Al have?
We gotta do the
We're gonna do that doing picks.
Anyway, before we kick that off, Bill, let's go ahead and get an update from last week records.
yes, let's
So we can see what happened last week. And was it week 15?
Week 15.
Yes.
The records that we're doing, not the records, but what we're showing right now is what. Is it? Okay, I'm about to say I thought I loaded up this morning.
Through 15 weeks. Through 15
So
weeks.
week 15, what we got here. Lady A came out with a strong showing. It was a bounce back for her, which is what she really needed. 14-2. Mr. Cedric, Steady Eddie. I'm Steady Eddie. Remember that I'm Steady Eddie. Alvin, you know 12-4. You know the old one from the Army Navy. 2 pick 10-6. Everybody's above 500.
Nah, wait a minute.
Said,
Wait.
There's a change at the top.
Wait.
Lady A, one of them.
look
What you
at
got pick?
Wait.
What you
10
got
and
pick?
6 pick. That's what they said.
Player.
What you got?
I'm gonna need to talk to accounting again.
Oh,
What you got?
I'm gonna need to talk to accounting again because I didn't take an L. I didn't take an L yesterday.
What game we talking about?
I took
You
0
didn't
L's.
take an L all
I
day
took-
yesterday.
I took the Vikings.
Oh, you said
Hold on,
yes.
hold
I
on,
took the Vikings and I took the Falcons. Right?
You took
You took the Vikings. You took the what?
I took the Falcons. So that's 2 wins,
Okay,
right?
you gotta
When I
win
went
there.
to bed,
You gotta win the Vikings. I gotta win the Vikings as well. You good? Go ahead.
when I went to
You can tell
bed,
you what the L's you got. I can tell you the L's you got.
I already know them. Miami, that's one. Miami is one. The
Listen,
Panthers.
You got
that's
Miami.
two.
You got
The Panthers.
You pick
The Chargers.
Carolina. Yep,
The
that's
Colts.
You picked the Panthers
The
to win.
Seahawks.
and
That's 5, bro.
Oh, that was because he hated.
you pick the Colts.
But the Ravens Giants under, didn't that game go over?
You pick the Colts. You pick the Chargers, and you pick Seattle.
Yeah.
Right?
That's 5.
What you do Thursday?
The Ravens
won
Giants
Thursday.
game, the Ravens Giants went over, didn't it?
The Ravens Giants. Let me see. They go over. One. Got Seattle. 10-6.
That's
4.
5 games. I'm just saying. Y'all keep tacking on extra losses. This is
I
the
mean,
second
you
time
still
I had
at
to
the end, but yeah, you're right.
This is the second time. This is the second time.
You got what? One
The
over.
Ravens Giants under would have been 6, I thought.
Hold on.
Which one did you just say?
The
The
Ravens,
Ravens
Giants.
Giants.
Yeah, that's the other one. It went
That's
under.
that's 6.
You picked the under. That's right.
Yeah, you picked the
That's
under.
Hold on.
Thank you, Al.
Six
Thank you,
lows.
Al.
I knew
Hold on,
what he
wait.
had.
Thank you,
I
Al.
knew what he had.
Thank you,
I
Al.
don't know why he's talking about it. I knew what he had. That's all because he
questioning accounting? Anyway,
Panthers money line. He knew he had a law. It's going.
Oh,
It's
he
going
had
back.
Panthers money line. Oh.
So Lady Avery.
Hold on, wait. Hold on, say it.
Uh-huh.
42 and a half. Oh God.
Yeah, you took the
What was
Go
that?
on, accounting.
Pick.
Come on, accounting.
Uh-huh.
Al trying to catch me so
Good job,
bad.
Al. I would have found it sooner or later, Al. But anyway,
No, you
let's
wouldn't.
jump in this right quick. We're gonna give Al his Al. He missed week 2, so he's like 14 games behind. We've been slowly trying to catch him up. Right now, he's 5 games back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 4 games.
I got 4 games for you, Al, this week. So right now we're gonna start with the college playoffs.
Well, wait a minute. You want me to read the thing first?
Yeah. Please read it.
Okay, guys. If you or someone you know is facing challenges with gambling, support is accessible. The National Council on Problem Gambling offers. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Pick. Stop touching stuff. The National Council on Problem Gambling offers various resources such as FAQs, a self-assessment for gambling behavior, details on treatment, and a helpline to link you with local assistance. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-426-2537. Text 800-GAM, or you can visit them on the web at ncpgambling.org.
There we go. We got that in. Bill, you want to pick these games with Al?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let me read
Get
this
some
line.
visuals, man, because you give us too much information to remember everything. Do you got any visuals for me? I'm a visual person, man.
I don't have any.
Him and the graphics department are slipping. Okay.
Listen. We did very well to get these links up.
I wrote my stuff down. I got my stuff written down.
It's been a tough time. It's been a tough time. Okay.
I got it written down. I don't need to
Why
grab
his
the
voice cracking?
I already wrote it down, Lady. I'm good.
All right, here we go. Indiana is +7 at -105. Their money line is +222. 222 +222. Notre Dame is -7 at -115. Their money line is -278. -278. And we're using Caesars, right? The total is 51 at 110 both ways. 51 at 110 both ways.
It's gonna be cold in Notre Dame now, just so you know.
That doesn't matter for Indiana. I'll let Bill go first, man. He's a guest, right? Unless y'all want me to go first.
I will take Notre Dame and give the points.
Ooh,
Bill's gonna lay the points. You're gonna lay the 7. That's not bad. I do agree with that.
That's a very good thing. I love that.
I do agree with that. I concur.
I'm not as adventurous as you because I got to catch picks. So I'm going to take Notre Dame money line for a little bit less money, but for the show enough win to close that gap a little bit.
We're gonna look at them standards again in a minute. All right.
Go get them TV shades you had, and you can look at them through that.
Oh no!
I need to see what. Yeah, I'm not too far away from them two up front. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Our next game, we got SMU traveling to Penn State to take on the Nittany Lions. Mm-hmm. Here's the line: you got SMU at +8.5. +8.5 at -110. Their money line is +260. +260. Penn State is -8.5 at -110. Right. Their money line is -335. The over/under set at 54, 110 both ways. Over/under is 54, 110 both ways. Bill, who you got?
So if we're allowed to do anything, I'll take the under. But I will also take Penn State money line.
That's illegal in Vegas and everywhere else, but we'll go with it here on First String Podcast.
About that.
You can't take the under and.
I'm not saying. I was going with the under. That's my pick. I was just saying.
With the under. Okay.
I would do one or the other if that makes sense.
Oh, you're saying.
The under.
You saying you can't do a parlay with a money.
You can't do a parlay.
Exactly.
Can't do a parlay.
Yeah.
Right.
I got you.
Yeah.
Either or.
Right.
You can make 2 single picks every center I know. I like both of those picks, Bill. And I was thinking the same. I think Penn State's defense and the weather is going to have a lot to do. I think with 53 and 54 points, I think that's way too many
54.
points. Yeah, give me. I like that. I like both of them. I like the short thing is. Give me Penn State money line. Give me Penn State money line. I'll keep it there. I'll keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
I'm gonna bet it differently, but I'm gonna catch pick this way.
No, I don't think so. I want y'all to keep that same energy because we coming down the stretch, and y'all know at this time, y'all know what happens. Pick gets laser focused, and playoff pick kicks in. Y'all know about playoff pick.
It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, the season's over, buddy.
Hey, listen, little Yellow, you keep talking.
What are you talking? He must not be. He must be telling somebody else.
Go ahead, pick.
All right, next game we got Clemson traveling to Texas to take on the Longhorns. Clemson is plus 12 at minus 110. Their money line is plus 345. Clemson's plus 12 at minus 110, money line plus 345. The Texas Longhorns minus 12, minus 110 at minus 455.
That's disrespectful.
Over under set at 51 and a half. 51 and a half, 110 both ways.
That's disrespectful.
Bill?
That's a lot of points, isn't it?
That's disrespectful.
Daddy?
Yeah.
Touchdowns.
Yeah, I would take Clemson in the points.
Clemson plus the 12. Clemson plus the 12.
That's a good pick too, Bill. I don't believe in Dabo.
What did he say?
Clemson plus
12.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
I do not believe in Dabo that much. I think they should be playing in the Citrus Bowl instead of this bowl. They just don't deserve to be here, but they beat SMU, which is another bad team in that whack conference, the ACC. So I like Texas in a rout, but I'm gonna take a money line.
You're gonna take them money line.
Smart man.
Texas in a route, but you're gonna take them money line. Gotcha.
I told you, Pig. You are in my crosshairs, buddy.
It don't matter. I'm
a bet differently. But since you give me the option to get the same points, I'm not gonna lay no points if I'm just gonna take the winner.
Smart man.
We do have
That's
to.
what we do.
I'm gonna make
last game.
Make a suggestion next year just to tweak a little bit. You should give an extra point if you take the points or give the points and cover it, as opposed to just a money line pick to give a little bit of. But go ahead.
To get the victories, I got you. I hear what you're saying. Our last game is Saturday at 7 p.m. You got the Tennessee Volunteers versus the Ohio State Buckeyes. You got Tennessee at plus 7.5 at minus 115. Their money line is plus 235. That's plus 7.5 at minus 115 at plus 235. The Ohio State Buckeyes are minus 7.5 at minus 105. Their money line is minus 292. The over-under set at 47. 105 for the over, 115 for the under. 105 for the over, 115 for the under. Bill.
So I saw on this one it started as 7.
Yep.
And it's moved. So early money has said that they're favoring Ohio State. I'm gonna go Tennessee plus the points.
Tennessee plus the points.
I'm gonna be dumb money. Let's go.
No, that's smart money, Bill. I like where you're going with this because everybody's expecting Ohio State to play very well this week because of that bad loss against Michigan. They have all the recruits. They have all the 5 stars. But I like them Vols with that 7.5. So give me them Vols with the 7.5, baby. And maybe an upset. And put Ryan Day's contract status in further disarray.
Al, I'm gonna tell you right now. Listen, I already took Tennessee money line. I already got my ticket. Tennessee
so you going against your folks? Okay.
Yeah, and also say if you're
stop the run. If you don't have to throw the ball, why throw it?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I didn't expect
Josh Heupel. I think this is a big game for him in recruiting and just in his trying to make Tennessee that national brand that it is and was. back to what it's supposed to be. And I think this is a real big game. Give them a couple weeks. I think they're going to have something for the Ohio State. Their defense is rock solid, but once again, the biggest thing with them is they have speed, but do they always see speed in that Big Ten like they'll see with the SEC all across the board with the Tennessee Volunteers? I think they're going to spread it out. The quarterback, Nico, I think Nico's going to have the key is what Bill said, Nico. If he can show, improve, and step up and not make dumb decisions with the ball and put this team in harm's way, I think the Volunteers make this a hell of a game.
But also the other thing that I like too is I do like Tennessee's passing attack, the way that they make cornerbacks have to make a choice, and you can't be right. I like how they put DBs in peril, but in the way they spread them out, and you can alleviate that box and let Tennessee's running backs do what they do. Man, I just see Ohio State's not ready for this one.
But if Sampson doesn't have at least 25 to 30 touches, he has to have, whether you go 18, whether you do 22 rushes, 8 passes with screens or whatever, he needs 25 to 30 touches because he's that dynamic of a player. Yeah. And he's possibly the best running back in the SEC. So I think you got to lean on him.
So the only thing is, right, when you look at the quarterbacks, who has a better quarterback? Who's going to make that?
I don't even trust Ohio State's quarterback this year.
No, Will Howard's
a great
quarterback.
In big games, even versus Oregon, it's like he had a foggy mind or something. So I can't trust him.
I watched him at K-State, right? I mean, he was excellent. But he's not that. He's not going to make the giant big throw. He's more versatile, right? He's a good passer, and he's very mobile. But he's not the guy who's going to get you 3rd and 10, who's going to get you that first down every time. Nico can. Yeah, yes. That's, to me, is the difference. But I will also say Nico's going to be forced to. He is going to have to do what he didn't do against Georgia, right? He's going to have to make those big throws when Ohio State's line stops him and puts him in 3rd and long. And if he can do it, they're going to win.
If Ohio State doesn't have 8 in the box, I need to fire the defensive coordinator.
You can't put 8 in the box. You can't put 8 in the box versus
Tennessee. They're going to have to make Nico, to Bill's point. They got to make Nico.
But you can't put 8 in the box with Tennessee because of how far they spread you out. You can't put 8 in the box.
If they allow Sampson to get going, they're going to control possession. They're going to control tempo, and that bodes very bad for Ohio State.
And now you know why my money's on Tennessee.
I do.
And Heupel's a good coach. Smart offensive mind.
Yep.
All right. Say it. Are we going NFL now?
Sure. Why not?
All right. We got a couple of games that we got to get to ourselves for.
Roll in, baby.
We got a Saturday. We got a Thursday game, and I wasn't paying attention, but we have Friday. We have 2 Saturday NFL games this week.
Come on, Roy.
So we have 3 NFL games. Yep. We have 3 NFL games.
We played Saturday. The Ravens.
Got Ravens, Steelers.
You said we?
He did say we.
Who is we? You done went with the Ravens too now?
Look at my sub caption.
Okay, you were trading mid-season. You told us Pittsburgh. So
that's who they play, the Ravens.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you were with the Ravens.
No, but that purple crows, no.
Oh,
no, he gonna wind up with the he's gonna wind up with the Bills in the playoffs.
He been with the Bills already.
He's trying to be on the Bills playoff
roster. We got to
explain
this again.
No. We'll get to it later.
Just bouncing from team to team this year. That's all I know.
We'll get to it later. Our first game is our Thursday night game. All right. The Chargers just took a bad one with no running game. They possibly could have one of the Rookie of the Years, maybe. But Denver and Bo Nix seem to be continually building steam and getting better and better and better. And as Sid would say, Denver's defense is legit. Let's look at this line. You got the Denver Broncos at +2 at -105. Their money line is +130. The LA Chargers are -2 at -115. Their money line is -155. The over-under is set at 42, and that's 110 both ways. All right, I'm gonna give you these lines again. Denver plus 2.5 at minus 105. Their money line is plus 130. The Chargers is minus 2.5 at minus 115. Their money line is minus 155. The over under set at 42, and that's 110 both ways. Bill, who you got?
Broncos money line.
Broncos money line.
That's a hell of
Chargers can't run. They're not going to be able to throw against Satan that defense.
Nope, that defense is legit.
Yeah, I think the Broncos, they're reeling. I think the Chargers still will probably make the playoffs, but they're going to be lumping in. I think Denver is about to set themselves up pretty well.
I'm actually up next, right, Al?
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah. I'm with you, Bill. I gave a piece of that saying defense, Denver's defense is legit. I do love their corners. The one thing that Justin Herbert hasn't done a lot this year with Harbaugh is throw the ball, put the ball in harm's way. Plus, I just don't trust it. They do everything off the run. Next year for them, give me Denver money line.
Wow. I like everything you all are saying, man. Denver is playing well. They're healthier. They're playing better. Chargers are reeling, but I hate the way they looked last week. If they'd lost a close game, I'd feel better about Denver. But they lost so bad. I cannot believe that Denver's going to allow them to give me Broncos with the points, man. I don't even feel good about that, but I like the Broncos with the points. So I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that 2.5 and just gonna give it to me.
This is kind of a hard game here. You're right about one thing. The Chargers took a bad loss last week, and they kind of need this win for their division. To stay in the race for to get the playoff race. So they need this game. They're playing at home. They took a bad one at home last week. You know what? Give me the Chargers with a comeback win for next week. Give me the Chargers money line.
It's not a bad choice, man. I don't think they can lose.
Give me the Chargers with the bounce back. Go ahead, Lady A.
Okay, so
my source.
We get a lot of rears. You need a lot of rear to catch me. A lot.
Let me just say this: the Chargers got a bunch of people hurt.
Lad came back.
Chargers got a bunch of people hurt. Whether they're playing or not, we don't know yet. But a lot of people either did not participate or had limited participation in practice.
That's to be expected in a short week.
Correct. But at the end of the day, y'all know what I say. If they're on that injury report, even if they play, they are not 100%. They're not close to 100% because they're on there. So, and we know it's publicized what their weakness is for this particular game. So, with that said, I do think it's going to be close. I'm going to go ahead and take the Broncos plus the 2.5.
All right.
Say it.
Go ahead. Turn. You're going to turn your head.
Let's see if that side said, and not the back side. Let's see.
He said 2, not 2.5. The lady. Just so you know, he said 2.
Who said 2?
Oh, I thought it was 2.5.
No, lady said 2.5.
It's 2.5.
I just want to make sure you know it was 2 and not 2.5. Let me go and get this right.
He said 2. No, he said 2.5. Said.
He said 2.5, lady.
Yes, I said 2.5, and I think Pick said 2.5. We good.
Our next game, we got the Houston Texans taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Both of these teams, short rest week for both of them. They both played on Sunday. I believe they both play early games as well. The Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes is week to week with the high ankle sprain. They pulled off a nice win versus the Jameis Winston replacement DTR Cleveland Browns, who has been named the starter for the Cleveland Browns going forward. And you have the Houston Texans, who are not looking the way that they looked last year. They have gone through a lot of injuries and things of that nature, but Is this the time of the year? This is the time of the year where you need to find your groove and get back to who you are. Let's look at the line. You got the Texans at +2 at +100. +2, +100. Their money line is +126. The Kansas City Chiefs are -2.5 at -120.
Wait, read
Their
the
money
line
line
again. Read the line again.
You said plus
-2.5 at
The Texans got
-120.
You said +2 for the
You said
Texans.
+2 for the Texans.
+2.5 for the Texans.
Okay, 2.5. Okay, you said
+2.5 for the Texans at +100. Their money line is +126.
You see
The
why
Kansas
we
City
question-
Chiefs are -2.5 at -120. -2.5 at -120. Their money line is -150. Everybody clear?
Well, see, Bill, that's why I requested visual because you see what PG.
Even if I put the visual up, I'm still giving you the latest.
+2 and then a -2.5. You heard what I heard.
It helps with the visuals. It helps.
But even if I put the visual up and there's a change, I read the change. Right? I read the change. So the over under set at 41 and a half, 110 both ways. 41 and a half, 110 both ways. All right, Bill, who you got?
So you got the Chiefs playing 3 games in 11 days.
Yep.
Mahomes, high ankle sprain.
Yup.
If you have the number one seed.
Carson Wentz is the starting quarterback. Or the quarterback ready. Yep. That'll be ready.
Yep. Under
41 and a half. Under 41 and a half.
CJ Stroud, Texans, they're not lining up the scoreboard. Carson Wentz. Under.
Yeah, Carson Wentz can't affect this game if he's handing the ball off.
Texans got a really good defense.
Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. And I believe that both of these teams, first off, the Texans have a monster defense that they have to go against with Kansas City, right? And the Texans absolutely have a monster defense as well, but you can't let Carson Wentz if you're handing the ball off. And you could give them soft little play actions and things like that. If you pound the rock, I'm gonna go Kansas City money line here. They've been doing it all season. I don't see why they're gonna stop now. Kansas City money line.
All right, I like kind of where Bill went with this. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes is going to play or not. Carson Wentz definitely makes the decision of which way I go. Make me have to consider that. I think this is definitely Houston's coming off of the second week after a bye. They're playing better. The defense is playing well. Held them into the game. I don't like where CJ Stroud is right now, but I still do like that KC's defense. Defense does travel, and I think and defense is one of the consistent keys for this whole season for Kansas City. So I'm going to go with Bill with that under 41 and a half, Kansas City, Houston under.
Okay, say it.
Give me Texans plus a 2.5.
Texans plus 2.5.
Yep.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I have zero faith in Carson Wentz. I had zero faith in him when he played for my lovely team as well. I do feel that would change things to know who the starting quarterback for the Chiefs will be. Even with the high ankle sprain, I would choose Mahomes over Wentz any day. So if Mahomes is not playing, that's up in the air for me. I'm going to also take the under.
Because I wonder if Casey's going to rest because of the 2-game lead. You know what I'm saying? That 2-game lead gives them.
You can't do that. You can't do that with the Bills playing the way they playing. They play like the best team football right now.
But he hurt though. He hurt. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to risk him getting like hurt for real.
It's only a mild high ankle sprain.
Yeah, but it can get worse in this game. You see what I'm saying? You would want to rest.
It's a high ankle sprain.
And they've only lost one game this season. So if they lose this game, okay.
First place.
Yep.
Right.
Okay, say it. So what we got? We got a Wilson. We got a Wilson here. Say it.
Both of y'all.
I guess we got 2 Wilsons here. Hold on.
Yep.
I didn't realize I was on the island by myself as well.
We're closer to your island, though.
How long?
You don't trust Kansas City right
Yeah.
now.
Man, about to say he got a hat. Man, he ain't had no hat when he was alone on that island, man. All he had was soccer.
That's
Get off
just
my island,
both,
Al.
they both just being extra. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, get off my island.
You're right. I'm sorry.
They being extra.
Our last game. Al, can we get a little something about what the game plan is?
No. Win. That's the game plan. Win.
I mean, like
We're 4-1. Or Lamar's 1-4 against us.
Where they playing, Al?
Baltimore in the Crab Shack.
where they playing?
Crab Shack.
Are you
Crab
going to the game since you part of that team now?
I hate that stadium. I'd rather go to Pittsburgh and go to that game. I hate that stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that stadium almost as bad as I hate Fed Up Stadium. I'm sorry.
What stadium?
He
said fed up stadium.
He's awful.
That's what it's called, Fed Up.
Fed up. Okay.
And the aubergine, that's what it's called, Fed Up Stadium. Hey, lady ain't know that.
Listen.
No, I don't. I don't know that's what you call it. No, I did not.
Our next game is Saturday at 3:00. Saturday at 3:00. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Baltimore at what's the name of the stadium? M&T Crab Shack?
Crab Shack.
Okay. Let's look at this line. Yeah, well, first off, we're not even sure if we're gonna have Sedge guy.
Pickens.
Pickens. We ain't sure if we're gonna have Pickens. I was about to call him Pickles. We're not sure if we're gonna have him. And their passing game really suffered. Pittsburgh's passing game really suffered with him out of the lineup. I think Russell Wilson's air yards went to something like 6 or below. It was not very high. Najee Harris has to play better. Yes. The defense is giving it everything that they can. Baltimore, coming off of the game versus the New York Giants, it was like a tune-up game. It was like a college practice game. I think they played Mercer. I think that Baltimore played Mercer last week with what they did. So we're going to stop taking shots at Mercer, too. They catch the strays. Let's look at this line. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers at +6 at -110. Their money line is +240. The Baltimore Ravens are -6 at -110. Their money line is -305. The over-under set at 44.5, 110 both ways. 44.5, 110 both ways. Let me give you the line again. Pittsburgh +6 at -110. Their money line is +240. The Baltimore Ravens -6 at -110. Their money line is -305. 44.5 is the over-under. 110 both ways. 44.5, 110 both ways. Okay, Bill, who you like?
So this is for the division. You have, like I said, Pickens, doubtful. I think TJ Watt's high ankle sprain or something I saw. He's doubtful. You have Lamar can't figure out the Steelers. He has never scored more than 20 points against the Steelers. I'm saying he's going to figure it out this time. Money line, Baltimore.
Lamar's having an MVP type season, and Mike Tomlin seems to just stomp a mud hole on Lamar. He does. But every now and again, you can solve a Rubik's Cube. You know, it don't take a genius. Every now and again, you can solve one. Right?
Yeah. Time you solve one. Except when it came out the box.
I can solve a Rubik's Cube, Al. I can solve it. It might take me a little bit, but I can solve it. I'm not going to do it in 45 seconds.
Okay, good. Okay.
Give me a couple of days. It'll be solved.
And you can't pull out the parts.
No, I don't pull no sticker out of it. I don't do none of that. I literally just sit down and I have to do it. I just sit down and
do a paintbrush either.
No paintbrushes. Give me the Baltimore Ravens as well, and Al will be getting traded again after this one, or he'll be getting cut and picked up by another team. So,
said this won't take long.
Oh, you want to pick?
Yeah.
I said Baltimore money line.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I would go Pittsburgh money line, but you're gonna give me 6 points. So why take the money line if you're gonna give me 6 points? Pittsburgh plus the 6, please.
Now let me point out the obvious here. 2 games they played. Pittsburgh was also the underdog in the last game.
Time again, said.
The last game was -3 and -120, -178 for Baltimore. Baltimore lost. Pittsburgh was +3, -100, +150. Those was who Pittsburgh won. Now this time you're gonna give us 6 points. Let me go ahead and take Tomlin plus that 6.
And you can go back
Tomlin-
to last year, said.
Tomlin's not playing, said the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Baltimore Ravens. You can't
go
put a
back
third
to
team in the game.
last year, Ted said.
They gave him +3 last time pick. They gave him +6 this time. Okay.
He played wide
Oh,
receiver.
yeah, by the way, you took an L in the last one as well, just so you know.
Who you taking, said?
I already said I'm taking Pittsburgh +6.
Okay, because at first that's not what you said. You said you taking Tomlin.
Yeah, yes, I did. I said I'm taking Mike Tomlin +6.
Potato,
You
man.
You and Corey both took an L last time this game was put out.
Potato, man. Come on.
Said you bringing up old. That's old news.
It was this year.
Why you bringing up stuff from the past?
It was. In fact, it was week. What week was that? It was week 11.
Why you bringing up stuff from the
I want to
past?
hit one all back to it just so we can see. I want to compare notes.
Lady A.
So, these two teams, in the last 9 meetings, Pittsburgh has won 8 of them.
Tell them again, Lady A.
And the under has hit 8 consecutive meetings.
Slugfest.
I'm taking the under, although I believe Pittsburgh will win this game.
Tell them again, Lady A. Girl, you've been preaching tonight.
Come on with it. Come on with it. Give me my that. Give it to me, Sid. Let's go.
Bill picked him as well.
Oh, you're right. You're right, man.
You were so pressed.
Take your
Bill's
ball and
a
go home,
smart
man.
guy. Bill's a super smart guy. He's a super smart guy. This is why we have Bill come back to talk football, college football with us. Bill, you coming back to talk some basketball with us too, right?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. Make sure you, Sid, and Al have the words to anchor us away when you come back, okay?
Yeah.
Man, would you stop all this nonsense, man?
I'm just saying, go Navy.
That's
We
blasphemy.
beat Army.
Go
Navy.
Blasphemy.
We beat Army.
Awful. Why are we doing these
King
things?
of battle, follow me.
Thank you, Bill. Hey, Bill. Matter of fact, you can stay. You can stay with us. You can stay for the rest of the show because this is where the show. This is where the show gets fun. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Listen, Lady A is gonna give us a spotted tea, and then Al has a foursome. Listen.
Give me just a second. I'm going to upload something.
What?
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Al, you want to get your foursome in?
Oh man, listen. Whenever you're ready, man. Always a good time to hit the ball.
Okay.
So let me know.
Let's get this show ready. So Al took up the big spot, so y'all know what that means. Listen, Al steals the credit card sometimes, and he does what he does, and he likes to take these NFL players out to spend money and play golf and things of that nature. So, needless to say, this time I switched out the black card. I painted a Walmart gift certificate card, and Al took it. So we're going to see how far he's going to go. Al, who's in your
This
foursome?
segment is sponsored. We stole money off the TV from crypto. So I'm watching the showdown by crypto. We stole some money from crypto. So this show will be sponsored by crypto partially for whatever we can steal and they don't know. Now that crypto might not be worth anything tomorrow.
A Walmart gift card.
So go spend it now. So this week's man, we got 4 fantastic players, man. We actually gonna go to Shadow Creek for a good round of good old hit the ball fire and make sure you hit it where you can see it. So my first play, I'm sorry, man, I got my list together here. First play, I'm gonna make a call to 5 touchdowns, 21 for 25, 290 yards. Anytime you have more touchdowns than incompletions, you're gonna get the week off with me and be welcome to my force. So Lamar Jackson, you gonna have a bad week this week.
That's the same dude. That's why you try to give him the week off.
You had a hell of a week. This is why we're gonna spoil you. Get your foot fat and full. Coming up for this week, this Saturday's game. So Lamar Jackson made it to one of my players in my force. Next guy.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid, Lamar. Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
362 yards, 2 touchdowns rushing, 2 touchdowns passing, another 68 yards rushing. The guy's leading everybody's MVP ballot.
Mm-hmm.
My guy, my guy on my other team, the
Okay.
Buffalo Bills.
Mm.
Lady A's guy,
No.
Josh,
Put me in this.
my man Allen. Come on down, and you welcome to the Foursome this week.
Gene's cheating so bad.
This guy, first time on the Foursome, man. But I'm glad to have my newbies, man. We're gonna make a call to Arizona.
Okay.
James Conner, 16 carries, 110 and 2 touchdowns, and a big win for them to keep their playoffs hopes.
Yep.
Let me make a call, man. Make a call down there to Arizona. Tell them send my man James Conner to. He got a spot on my Foursome this week.
You know what he said? He said, "I'll be back."
There you go. And the last guy, first time for him as well. I found a defensive player, 12 total tackles, never 1.5 sacks, and a big win in Los Angeles against them Chargers. Levante David. Welcome to the Foursome, man. Hell of a week for you, man. Led that team, shut that team down, and Jim Harbaugh and the boys down in the second half, man, for a big win. Allowed Bacon the boys to shine. So that's my Foursome for the week, man. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, James Conner, and Levante David, man.
That's
and this
not
will
bad.
be paid for by pick and crypto. So
And
all
a Walmart
drinks
gift card.
and all are on me this week. So that's Al's Foursome for the week, man. Appreciate y'all.
That's not a bad one. That's not a bad one at all. I really do like that Foursome.
I had Rico Dowdle on the list, but I knew y'all was gonna give me a hard time.
Yeah.
For the 149 yards. So, but I thought the James Conner was well deserved, man. So I kept the Cowboys off this week.
Oh, that's good. Congratulations on that part.
Hey, yeah, of course. I mean, they keep winning. They keep winning and improving their draft position, don't they?
Because you know what? One of the biggest thing about the Foursome, you got to get a win. The first thing is you got to get a W. You got to get a W. Because Jared Goff tried to get on there, but his team did not get a W.
Yeah. Jared Goff was balling out too. So, yeah. Lady A, are you ready? Because if you're not, I have a question.
Oh, we'll ask your question, but I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Here's my question. Travis Hunter won the Heisman Trophy on Saturday, right? I'm going to give each one of you a team. I need to know, what position will he play on your team? Wide receiver or defensive back? Now, there is a caveat. You can give him a package. If you put him on defense, you can give him a package, but he cannot start at both positions. He has to choose, right? All right, so here's this question. Travis Hunter is your pick. All right, Bill, I'm going to start with you since you're our guest. Okay. You have the Las Vegas Raiders. You draft Travis Hunter. What position is he playing for you?
Wow.
He's playing wide receiver with the Raiders.
He's playing wide receiver with the Raiders. Really easy. Yeah, I agree. Okay, Sid, you ready? You have the New York Giants.
He playing DB with the Falcons.
No, Sid.
Not the Falcons, Sid.
That's what the team said.
Sid, your team is the New York Giants.
He said he know what his team needs.
I don't want the Giants. That's y'all division. I don't want the Giants.
The New York Giants, Sid.
Giants need everything, honey.
Okay, if you play the Giants, he gonna play DB. They got a number one wide receiver. He gonna play DB.
Are they using him?
They got neighbors at number one wide receiver. They're gonna use him at DB.
He'll probably get more passes.
I mean, he does need somebody else, but he'll get more. He'll
get more completions as a DB.
Yeah,
he might actually. All right, Lady A, you ready?
Yeah.
Your team is the Carolina Panthers.
Ooh.
Buffalo.
I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. They need a lot, but I feel like he would be a DB on the Panthers. Looking at their scheme, yeah.
Plus, Leggett's actually playing pretty good for them. So, yeah, I think
Okay.
Maybe a package.
Definitely.
Yeah,
a package,
yeah, but he would start on as a DB.
He's gonna be a DB for you.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right. You said, and that's where I was going. That fantasy show, Cuzzo. Al, your team is the Patriots.
Oh.
Yeah. I would actually let him play. I would put him opposite of Gonzalez and have
Yup.
two lockdown quarterbacks.
Yup.
Let him be a position and have package for him in offense. I like him and
Yup.
Gonzalez
Yeah.
on my two cornerstones, the bookends on the corners, and then I'll make you have to say pass, throw it on me. So I like him actually up there, and I like him on defense there.
I
Okay.
like him on defense with New England as well. Give him a package on offense, and you ain't got to use that package every week. But he's gonna get a couple plays in some big games, mostly conference games. He's gonna get some plays, but he is definitely playing corner in New England.
Yeah,
And right now, the way things shake out, that may be where he winds up because quarterbacks always get pushed to the top of the draft.
Yeah.
So quarterbacks get pushed, and New England may be in that right spot to
To get
draft Travis Hunter.
does anybody know the lineup, the top five right now? I know Vegas was first, the Giants were second. Who was
It's
that?
the Giants in Vegas with 2 losses. Then you got Carolina, New England, Tennessee, Jacksonville, Cleveland. All of those teams have 3 losses. 3 wins. I'm sorry, 3 wins. 2 wins and 3 wins.
We knew what you
So
meant because we knew they didn't have 2 losses.
yeah, my bad. All right.
We get it.
That PG County education, man. I love it. I'm one of the kids. I'm one of them too, so I can't tell. We did the same school. But,
Yeah, we was.
I know, but you don't you do that now.
Yeah, she went to PG too.
Well, listen, that's
That PG
unfortunate for all three of us.
that PG
like I
County
said,
education is the best.
but it wasn't as bad then as it is now. So
Oh
yeah.
boy, we're not even gonna do that. What?
Okay.
Well,
Hello,
are
guys.
you ready for your close up, Lady
I
A?
am.
Okay.
So the
Oh wait
first,
a
go
minute.
ahead. Who
Let's
am I
talk
brought to you by this time? Because I had a little
Lady
money.
A.
By
We
Lipton.
do have a sponsor for you today.
Okay, who's my sponsor?
That Colin Clinton tea.
What?
Oh Lord.
I don't like
Boom.
it. I don't
Boom.
like it. I don't like it.
Because you about to put it out there.
Oh, I don't like that one at all. There's a one tea. It's called ballerina tea. They put a cute name to it. It does the same thing. We could
Does the
do
same thing, huh?
Yeah, it does the same thing. We'll call it ballerina tea. All right. So
You
first thing
gonna
I'm
be
going to talk to
tiptoeing.
you guys about. So the NBA has let everyone know that their new All-Star game format has changed. Okay. So the NBA has decided that they are going to feature 4 teams of 8 players competing in a knockout style competition. And the voting for the NBA and the Players Association announced today that the new format, is out there. It's going to be San Francisco. Um, and then the voting will begin on Thursday, the 19th. So just keep an eye out for that. But Kevin Durant immediately decided to let everyone know I hate it. Immediately let it be known that he hates it. The honorary team GMs, you'll have Shaq, you'll have Chuck, Charles Barkley, Kenny, and Candace Parker. They will be the honorary team GMs for this new format. And then it says the teams they'll select their all-star teams from the 24 selected players in a draft format. So look out for that. I guess I really feel like the all-star games, people are less excited about them as of late.
Mm-hmm.
So they're switching it up. And they're just trying to do something different. But like I said, Kevin Durant immediately said, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I think it would be terrible. So we already have one person that's completely against it. He did acknowledge that this could be, it could be a success, but he just said we'll see how it works. But he's not a fan of it. But look out for those changes. Look out for the voting on December 19th. The All-Star game will be on February 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So
Cool.
that is the new format for that. Also, we were talking about the Baltimore Ravens, right?
Yep.
Let's talk about Deontay Johnson. So the Baltimore Ravens and Deontay Johnson have mutually agreed to excuse him from team activities following suspension. Mutually agreed. Okay, so that's kind of strange, right? Um, he's been suspended from one game, December 4th for conduct detrimental to the team. He refused to enter the Week 13 um, game, the loss against the Eagles, December 1. So
After the trade,
Mr.
after they traded for him.
Right. So not sure what's going on behind the scenes. Of course, I got my ears to the street trying to figure that out. So I'll keep you guys
He
posted.
was getting no snaps. He wasn't getting any snaps. He was complaining about his playing time. And then
But
when they did decide to put him in, he said he wasn't going on. He wasn't going in the game.
correct.
So they
So
suspended him for conduct detrimental instead of
correct.
cutting him. Instead of cutting him, you keep him on the team. That way, he doesn't wind up on any playoff roster
And
like Al.
But this screams something more is happening behind the scenes.
same thing in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is an ongoing story. And then Coach Harbaugh said, I know you guys want to hear the story. He said there's a lot of moving parts. There are reasons for doing things that are front office type reasons. So there is a lot more to the story, but they're just being mute about it. So, and this comes right after the 49ers suspended Devondre Campbell for 3 games, which is the rest of the season, after he refused to go into the game in the third quarter and they're in the 49ers Rams game. So I don't know what's trending and why it's trending in this way, but these things are going on. There are definitely some players that are just like, nope, I'm not going. They don't care if they're going to be suspended. But of course, I think that Coach Harbaugh is ready to talk. He's ready to tell his story, but he's holding off on that for some reason.
Can I say one thing? I was going to say one thing to the last part you just said. Part of the reason from what I understand, San Fran did what they did was by suspending him as opposed to cutting him. It allows them to be able to go after part of the signing bonus was $3.5 million signing bonus that they gave him. And so they get money back, keep him from re-signing with another team and getting paid if another team would even pick him up.
Right.
So it's kind of a like, you screw us, we're going to screw you right back.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So you're
that's
just
not
going to have that suspension. And to say, oh, it's for 3 games, but we know that that's the end of the season. That's the rest of the season. So
that might be
you
end of
will
his
not.
career.
Yeah,
That might be end of Campbell's career.
right. And it's not a good look,
Right.
because it was in the middle of the game. It was third quarter. So, players are making statements, and so are the teams. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. Yes, we talked about Michael Penix earlier today. Also, my last and final point. I guess did I freeze?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. My last and final point. There's some news that has been had today that affects my HBCU. My HBCU.
Hers.
Oh, did he take the job? I didn't hear that.
Michael Vick
wow. Okay.
has now accepted the position as
Congratulations.
NSU's football, the NSU football's head coach. He is going back to the 757 to coach.
Warwick's own, baby.
There we go.
Now, a couple of days ago, Sacramento State interviewed him as well, and there were rumors saying that he accepted that position, and no, that was untrue. And even Sacramento State had to come out and let it be known that that was not true. That people were prematurely saying that. One thing that is concerning to some fans is that Michael Vick doesn't have any experience. He does not have any experience as a coach, period. This will, not to say he won't do a good job, but he doesn't have any experience in coaching. He has done quite a few. If you're in the 7 area, he's done quite a few of those football camps.
Yep.
He runs those. So he has had his hands
in
in the community and youth football. However, he just has not had any official coaching coaching experience. His assistant coach, I'm not sure if there are going to be changes within the coaching staff as a whole because he just accepted the position. But the current assistant coach is kind of, from what I'm hearing, he's kind of inexperienced as well. So I'm not sure what's going on there.
Congrats to Mike Vick.
You said what?
I said congrats to Mike Vick.
Congrats to Michael Vick. Behold the green and gold. I think that it will be exciting. It will bring attention to the school. It will bring attention to HBCUs once again. So I wish him well. And I pray that he is surrounded by experienced people that are talented so that that team can and that school can be successful because, of course, they weren't that successful when I was there. So I would like to
they ain't been successful since you left either, but that's a whole other story. But
that's
a very talent-rich area. That whole Tidewater area for football, man. To play football down that way, in college. But it's a very prideful area. But he's a lot of talent from that whole corridor over down there. He'll be able to tap into it. And I think and being from that area, being from the Newport News area, and a Warwick High School graduate as he is, I think he'll keep the talent there.
Yeah, he will. So while congratulations are going out, let me say first off, thank you to my co-hosts, all of my guests. Right, I want to say that. Why am I saying this right now? Because I just got an hour wrap. I'll share it with you guys.
2024 wrap.
I just got our 2024 wrap. So here we go.
Oh, okay.
First String Podcast, what we did in 2024, we had 136 new subscribers, 10.4K views, 120 uploads, 1,018 likes, 200 shares, 38 comments. Our top video was Doc Walker Talks Washington Commanders on First String Podcast. So Doc, thank you for always being available again. Thank you to everyone that's been watching. We have a couple of likes on our short that we did. Man, I don't remember doing that short, but we got a couple of likes on there. October 1st was our top live stream. Again, Doc Walker Talks Washington Commanders on First String Podcast. So we will keep doing this as long as you guys keep watching, and we can't do it without you. So thank you all for continuing to support us, encourage us, and things like that. And we'll continue to give you guys what you want and bring our people like Lake Lewis, Doc Walker, Candy, so we can give y'all the insight on y'all favorite sports, just like we like talking sports anyway. So thank you so much to each and every one of you guys that watch. And thank you to my co-host for putting up with my tantrums when I throw those and dealing with all my bad attitudes behind the scenes. I do have some more good news. On Saturday, we have our ugly sweater party, right? Lady A assured me that there will be no fines issued.
I did not say that. I did not say that.
So we got our ugly sweater.
Just for that untruth that you just told.
We will be able to have drinks on the show. So we'll play a really good game of what's in that cup, right?
Won't hit cranberry for you either.
It won't be cranberries. It won't be cranberries this time, right? Bill, do you have an ugly sweater?
Absolutely.
Man.
Got a few.
Doesn't anything burgundy and gold qualify?
Hey,
no. Blue and silver qualifies as ugly, though.
See, I thought you were going to use the obvious and say this is my ugly sweater, but
No. So listen, you too can be a part of the show. We will be giving out that link on that day, so you can come on, be with us a little bit, celebrate with us a little bit, make a couple of picks. So we will be sharing that link. If you don't want to come on, you can always drop an email to us at First Ring Podcast. Right here's the email address. Take a picture of your ugly sweater. We will show it and put you up one, and that way you can still be a part of the show. So I look forward to having a good Saturday night's worth of picks with you guys, celebrating the up and coming Christmas. And I got some more good news for my castmates here. We will not be doing a show on Christmas Eve.
Okay, good. Wonderful.
We will not be doing a show on Christmas Eve. I got some bad news for my castmates.
Probably bonus or something like that.
Oh, no. We got picks to make.
Huh?
We got picks to make, so we will have to put them into the chat so we can make sure that we are good to go. So,
and what's my final game? Too, y'all owe me one more game.
We owe Al one more game.
We'll get you one during the quarterfinals. You okay? Don't worry about it. We got you.
And Milwaukee is winning. Milwaukee. There's an update on the Emirates Cup. 74-64 Milwaukee.
Okay.
Over OKC. Anybody interested?
Mm-hmm.
Our team in there. We don't care nothing about that.
It's been
whole season kicked off.
Oh yeah, sure did. Yep.
We got Memphis, West Virginia on right now.
Oh, what they on ESPN?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
20-7. Memphis.
Oh, Memphis got to be up because West Virginia's trash this year.
They weren't always.
No, this year. Just this year.
I know.
I got a lot of good friends that went to the mountain. They're Mountaineers.
I have a cousin that went there. He played football.
You gave him his last game, Sid?
No, we're going to get later. He'll give it to me later.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Sid, did we cover everything?
We hit it all.
We did. Thank you again to everyone that
my engine running a little rough, Sid. I ain't getting no order today. My engine running a little rough, baby. Hit the thing knocking a little bit, man. I'm about to go put a quarter in.
We gotta put a pin in it until Saturday. We'll get Sid to give you some leaking oil on Saturday. All right.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So, Lady A, thank you for. Were there any fines issued today?
I heard a couple little comments, so there's some warnings that are going.
The glasses you had on should have been a fine.
No, them glasses I had was fire. Listen, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to get fined on Saturday because I'll be drinking and I'll have an ugly sweater on. So
just get it. I'm ready now.
Yeah, I'm
don't worry.
I'm gonna get a new fine sign together right now.
I'm gonna have my money ready too because I'm gonna collect all of them. I'm gonna be ready for the ready. FedEx man, the money's on the curb. Get out of here. All right. Here we go, Sid. Shouts out to my son, United States Air Force, First Ring Podcast, second to none. Come get some. Tell him, Sid.
Go Dogs.
Oh.
It's wartime, baby. This what you signed up for. This what we worked hard for. You for. Y'all the first string. Y'all gotta go set the tone now. Hey, let's go. Lace them up, it's the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. They spitting facts on the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Hey, let's go. Cause it's time for the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. Lace them up, it's the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. They spitting facts on the First String Podcast show. Imagine talking sports, having fun with the fam. At a starting lineup, First String is what you have. An entertaining stream with the Pro Bowl cast. When the viewers chime in, they gon' answer what you ask. Representing for the Queens, yeah, we got Lady A. A super knowledgeable woman who can break down any play. Say it from the South, so he rep GA. The Falcons, the Bulldogs, the whole Peach State. Drunk Uncle Al, only way you can describe him. Every time he crack the mic, you know he gon' be wildin'. Last but not least, it's my man Toothpick. Commanders is a squad and he the captain of the ship. So if you feel the vibe, go ahead and tune in. Like, subscribe. subscribe, recommend to a friend. Now for real, like, subscribe.